programs like this. And she was able to do an introduction for me that opens another door. So for me, coming to the program was a big blessing because of the caliber of people I was able to meet, and because of the way it works is they look at some of the things you've identified, maybe your next achievement, your next milestone, and they link you or match you with that kind of mentor. So it's garbage in, garbage out. If your problem is talent, you need to state it's talent. If your problem is funding, you need to state it is funding. If your problem is road to market, access to market, you need to state it. This is what I want to achieve. Like I remember it was either Joseph Damilola that mentioned it. Your goal needs to be well defined, and then you need not to be discouraged. Always be at it, even if at a particular time you are not getting what you want. Don't be discouraged and don't be too shy to ask. The best you can you what you can hear is no, and what if there is a yes. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Titi, for sharing. What I heard was that you were not afraid to ask for help. You followed through on the recommendations that your mentor gave you. Follow through is very important because they can give you all of the advice, they can open up doors for you, but you actually have to take the step. And so I'm happy to hear that your mentor actually helped you to, make progress on not one, but more business issues. So thank you so much for sharing that. Joseph?
Yeah, I would just appreciate if she can leave my mic muted, please. Well, one thing that really helped me early on with this mentor. This mentor was based, and still based in Boston. I live in the US as well, so we had that connection right away. And but I commute back and forth because we have work here in Nigeria and other places. So, and I told him, I said, look, I want to grow here. I want to grow here. I want to grow there. I want to go there. I mean, you have this big vision. You want to grow everywhere. And the guy just said, listen, you're not going there. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, well, I've been here, I've been here, I've been here, I've been here. This is the roadmap. This is the insurance network. This is the framework. This is the, in one conversation and couple of conversation after, I said myself, I mean, one thing you don't have is time and money as a startup. And if you blow those two away, those two capital away, you're done. So this guy told me, look, I am in a arena business. We have dialysis, we do this, and we're struggling to raise money here, and then we're getting out of this market, get out of this market. And I'm like, why are you getting out of this market? He said, well, the government structure doesn't help, the insurance network doesn't help, blah, blah. And it took me to school. And that way, I just packed my bag, stayed in Nigeria, JJ, and then start looking at other places to try and grow our businesses. And now following his instruction and advice has given us opportunity in Middle East and back in the US, be able to establish and doing some great work. I'll stop there.
Amazing. Joseph, what I heard was, you were so excited, full of so much energy to launch in the US, but he said, no, start in Nigeria. And now you starting in Nigeria has unlocked opportunities in other places. So that's just amazing. And so imagine if you were not, open to receiving that kind of feedback. In your head, you had all these grand plans and ideas, but someone had to, pull you down from the clouds and really ground you. And that's what a mentor can do. So I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Titi and Joseph, for sharing very, very practical examples of, the kind of impact that a mentor can make in your business, how it can affect your bottom line, how it can push you as a founder to, be a bit more grounded in your decision making and, remove your head from the clouds. So thank you so much for that. Doctor, please tell us what qualities you look for in a founder after they sent you a request and you have accepted it and you have that first meeting. What is that thing apart from, the business issues that they bring to you? What is that thing that makes you, want to connect with them?
Right. Thank you again, Barbara. What I look for or what sort of encouraged me is the energy, the passion and energy for what the individual entrepreneur wants to do. The entrepreneurial journey is also quite a lonely one, and it's interesting that your previous mentee was humble enough to take a criticism that says, oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. And they were humble enough to go back and restart. Sometimes entrepreneurs are so tough in their own ways that if you give such negative, something that's considered negative, they might just feel, deflated. But a true entrepreneur would have that passion, would be determined, we have the energy. And that energy motivates people like us, because I know that it doesn't matter what I say, if they don't feel it themselves, if they don't have the desire, it won't work. So I was looking for the kind of energy that would keep them going. So it doesn't matter what I throw at them, they have this baby, they're pregnant with it, they're going to be the one to deliver it. It doesn't matter what I say. So that's what I looked for when I was mentoring my boys, as I call them, because they're young men. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Dami?
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So just so that I remember the question. The question is, how what do I look out for?
Yeah.
In the I think, first things first is I'd assume this is like after the first call where, we kind of size the relationship out. I'll look at articulation. I'll just consider your articulation of your expectations. Why exactly are you seeking a mentor? Essentially, some people, just assume or don't really know what they're looking for, and think it's just something to do. So firstly, I'll consider your articulation of the reasons why you're seeking a mentor. I would also, based on your articulation of the need, consider if truly I can add value. So it's not essentially a waste of your own time and also mine. So I want to be sure that I'm able to add value to what your expectations are, and what sort of value I can also add in that regard. And so that I more or less justify the reason why you want me to be your mentor, or and vice versa. I would also be looking out for like commitment. I'll be able to ask certain questions during the first call to determine if you can really commit to it, because I expect that if I'm going to take on the relationship, I'm going to prioritize it. I will put in my time, put my network forward, put as much as I can forward. So I would expect that sort of level of commitment as well. So I would essentially be able to ask questions that will more or less help me to, weigh the kind of commitment that you're able to deliver. So I would say like those are like the three things I will be looking out for in the initial stages of trying to develop a mentor-mentee relationship. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Dami. So what I hear you say is, I think the point you made that was really striking is the mentee's ability to articulate what they even want from the process. Because sometimes I've seen, some requests have come in and the mentee is not able to really articulate what they want. We're struggling to I don't even understand what they're looking for from the mentor, how much more what the mentor, how much more the mentor, they won't understand what you also want. So being able to clearly articulate the problem that you have and what you want to solve, the commitment, the passion, and you also have to be someone that is humble and teachable. I think that those are really, really very strong qualities that can make a mentorship relationship work. And so another question for the mentors as well: what are the top 3 aspects when an entrepreneur is building a business that can help them create a strong foundation? Like, what aspects should an entrepreneur look for mentorship in when they are building their business? I think everyone can actually answer this question, the last question. So, but we'll go with the mentors first and then go to the mentees. So, what areas of the business should an entrepreneur seek mentorship in? You know, at the early stages when you're building your year 1, year 2. What are the 3 key areas that you think an entrepreneur should seek mentorship in? And I'll start with Dr. Dr. Irene, are you there?
Yes, I was here. I think you muted me
Okay.
and I couldn't unmute myself.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Your question is, again, I wanted to put my camera on, but it won't allow me, so I'll just speak here. So your question is the 3 key things that the mentee should be aware of? Is that your question? Should be seeking?
Yes, seeking mentorship in the beginning stages of building a business. 3 key areas.
Okay. Initially, I think most entrepreneurs would have started with their defined goals. So if you already have your goals, then you have that at the forefront of your mind. I think depending on what they are, they're seeking the ones that I mentor, they were actually seeking things to do with how they get themselves out there, like marketing, how they showcase themselves. I think how to also raise funds is a big area, right? But I think initially you may even want to seek a mentor just to help you define your ideas. I know that someone said you've got to be able to know what you want. Sometimes some entrepreneurs don't know. They have these big dreams. Like the previous mentee said, you have a lot of big dreams, but speaking to a mentor will then help you refine them so that you are doing the right thing. Initially, I'm trying to put the camera on. I'm still struggling with it. Right. I hope you can hear me. So we ignore that for a while. Barbara, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
You can hear me. Right. So initially would be, yes, you have your goals defined. If you're seeking a mentor, someone that will help you clarify your thoughts, right? That's one you should be looking for. And also somebody to help you open doors. If you're in a sector where you're struggling to open some doors, a mentor can help you do that as well. At the stage, even sometimes you use mentors to define your business plan. That's another one. And again, to get you to move to a different level. The people that I mentored, just helping them, just telling them what to do step by step, giving them little points or steps to take to get to the next level. So a lot of the time, they'll come to me with what they want. They have an idea, they know what they want, and I'm just going to help them to get them from one stage to another. So those are the kind of things that I did.
Thank you so much.
But it's not every time people are aware of what they want. They come with this idea, and that's what entrepreneurs are. But a mentor will help you refine them so they become more tangible. You can say them well.
Thank you. So just in reference to what I mentioned during the presentation, that a mentor can be a sounding board. Sometimes you have a rough idea, and then when you talk to a mentor, it's able to take shape and can, have a clear articulation of what it is that you want to do. So thank you so much, Doctor, for that. Dami?
Hello again.
Should I repeat the question?
Yes, I think I
okay.
The question.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
So I think areas, as Dr. Irene said, that the mentee will typically have like a couple of things that they're considering in their minds and they're seeking mentorship on. And of course, definitely as an entrepreneur, it is typical that you want to do 1,000,001 things. You have 1,000,001 ideas. You want to sometimes even run faster than you yourself. So I think in the early stages, you know, entrepreneurs should ideally seeking mentors that can help them test their ideas, test the concepts in which they're thinking around, thought processes. You know, as Joseph has mentioned, where, you know, certain things that you probably are thinking, you know, it's achievable now. I feel like this, I can do like that. And one conversation really change everything. Seeking out the right mentors and for the right reasons can help you, you know, test all of those ideas, have that sounding board that gives you the opportunity to be vulnerable. Because I believe with every mentor and mentee relationship, there should be a level of vulnerability where it's a case of you as a mentee, you are not particularly posing or trying to make your everything very still mysterious. You know, you should be able to break it down as much as possible. So the mentor is able to understand and be able to deliver value to you. You also must also understand as a mentee that the mentor is also as busy as you are. So you cannot expect that, you know, it's only you are being mystical and you expect the person to reject it. Sometimes they're not very familiar with your industry as well. So you need to break it down as much as possible and make it clear. My light just went off. You can also consider the area of scaling. Scaling when you're ready to scale, when you're looking to build networks, when you're seeking out funding. So the list is, you know, kind of endless, but I'll just break it down, just, you know, leave it there.
Thank you so much. Titi?
You're on mute. Okay, thank you, Barbara. Okay, let me flip the question a bit, and then in retrospect, I try to look at what works. A lot of us has rich uncles, and the only thing we go to them for is, oh, I need money, come and help me to finance my business. But let me teach you a trick. I remember when we started Terra Work, when you ask people for money, they will avoid you. But if you ask for advice and genuinely looking at how passionate you are about your project, there's likelihood that you will get money. When we started, I think I went to one of my uncle and I was passionate. I want to change the landscape of Africa, exporting African talent. And I told him, you've built a successful business in the insurance space for over 30 years. I'll be coming to you for advice. And I told him about the dream. And he said, don't talk to anybody. I'm going to invest. So as an entrepreneur, know your onions, know your business, let the passion consume you. And by the time you are talking to people, you are not even asking for funding. I know we need money, but genuinely asking for people, how do I navigate? They are able to stay with you and nobody is under any tension. So if you are starting laying the groundwork, genuinely ask people for advice. Advice around how it works in Nigeria is a different terrain. And for everybody from other African countries, you will agree with me that it's different. So ask them genuinely, how do I build a successful business in the area of from product? This same uncle is not a tech person, but he was able to share his experience building product in Nigeria. We wanted to build TerraWork, hiring people from US. At that time, exchange rate was 300 to $1. But he said, arrange young people, provide that leadership for them. They can do it. If you check our website, people don't know this is built locally. So a lot of them, they've experienced some things. They share their knowledge with you in area of talent, even technology. Some of them in your mind, they are old, but they've experienced it and they can share. So ask for advice. Let funding be the least because that can actually be what will break the relationship. In as much as you need money, we all need money. But when you are setting out, your passion to deliver, your impact, You must have invested yourself in yourself enough to be able to deliver that. Then again, be a person of value as well. You don't just go to people because you want to take from them. When they have problem, be ready to offer assistance. And with that, in a way, they are indebted to you. So as an entrepreneur, we have 1001 problems to solve. That is true. Be available for other people to solve their problem. And with that, you are building your network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Titi. I love what you said about, just connecting with the intention to learn and the intention to build your network, and then funding can come from there. At DC4A, we believe so much in mentor-driven capital, which is why we call it the mentor-driven capital, because we believe that that is a very, very that's a very, very strong source of capital. When you've worked with someone as an advisor, as a mentor, they've seen the efforts that you've made to grow your business with their help. They see your commitment. They've seen you grow in that process, so they can trust you. They can trust you with their money as well and invest in your business. So we believe very strongly in mentor-driven capital, and truly, like you said, once you're able to prove yourself, prove your passion, prove your commitment to your own product, right? Other people will buy into it, not just with their time and effort and their experience and network, but also with their money eventually. It doesn't always happen, but when it happens, those people become very strong pillars in your business. They join your board, they become your advisors. They are able to do more for you in your business. So thank you so much, Titi, for that. And lastly, we hear from Joseph.
Thank you so much. One thing I want us to understand as an entrepreneur is that where we get money is from product. What the investor invests in is a product. What the customer buy is the product. So the most important thing is your product. So for example, I'll tell you, when we started, I mean, and I'm sure you're probably going through it, or every entrepreneur has gone through it. We wanted to do this, that. And I started talking to mentors, and I was putting so much value on one side of our product that was asset heavy for us to scale. And this mentor just told me and said, "Why are you focusing on that?" I'm like, "Well, that's where it is. Da, 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 da. And sometimes we build for ourselves. This is your best product. Everybody will buy this thing because you like it. This guy, we busted my bubble. And this mentor was the one that showed me that you are in a software business, not in the medical business. You're using software to solve medical problems. And it changed my pitch deck, changed everything. And I now realized I was able to even pitch better, coming from the point that this is what we do, and how the software work is how we bring this information into that software. And it made perfect sense. I mean, and if you're customer centric, you want to really make sure that the product you're building is what your customer will buy, not what you will buy. You need a mentor from day one. And believe me, with a mentor, the mentor has been, the one thing I like about VC for Africa is a lot of their mentors and founders too, they have been where you are. And they can quickly tell you the road you're going on right now is gonna lead into a crash. And that you will save yourself money, you will save yourself a lot of burn rate and all that. So if you want to do one thing, one mentor, get a mentor that will help you with customer journey. Make sure that your customer journey is not what your customer journey is for yourself, but what the people that will use your product. And I believe that you can take your money to the bank. The investors will come. The mentor will even open his or her network to say, you know what, this guy. And once your mentor helps you with your warm intro and your part of your due diligence, check will start flying in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I love what you said about a mentor helping you to create customer-centric products, customer-centric. So it's not just you being in your head thinking you have a wonderful product, but when you actually talk to a mentor, they can help you say, hey, that works for you. It doesn't work for me as a customer. And they can help you really, really refine, your business idea or your products or your service And in the process of going through that process with the mentor will help you be able to communicate more effectively and pitch your business better. And like you said, working with them and being committed to the process can open doors and the checks coming. So thank you so much for those really, really practical examples. At this time, we'll open the floor for questions. So does anyone have any questions for the speakers, for either the mentors or the mentees so far? Please feel free. If you can't unmute yourself, you can type your question in the chat box. But if you're able to unmute yourself and ask your question, please feel free to. Are there any hands raised? The floor is open to ask questions. All right, as Tasiu has the question. Tasiu, please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I have one question to the speakers. I really appreciate their effort in explaining us how mentorship goes on in marketplace. We understand very well. So my question is that, can a mentor connect the mentee to the funders? I mean, those who can fund you to start off your business, one. And the second is that, some people have the idea to start business, but when they started the business, their product, product cannot reach where they wanted to reach. So can mentor help them to at least see that their product reach where they wanted it to reach? I hope you understand my question. Hello?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I was saying, Titi, do you want to attempt to answer his question? You're muted as well.
So if you can rephrase, I was unable to hear him properly.
Okay, he asked two questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so he asked two questions. He said, can a mentor connect, an entrepreneur to funders? And two, if an entrepreneur has built a business or a service or a product that is not able to scale, then can a mentor support them with, pivoting and restructuring?
Fantastic. I think good question, Ibrahim. I think for both cases, a mentor can, a mentor will, but it largely depends on you because these are people you've worked with for a while. They know you, they know your weakness. And if you are entering this kind of relationship of mentee and mentor, be ready to be committed to it. If they perceive you as somebody that don't listen, they will be a bit skeptical, putting their own integrity on the line, connecting you to funders. So, but if they perceive you to be somebody that is ready to go extra mile, you are building a business, they've given advice that you've implemented, they've seen the growth, you've listened to feedback. If there's anything I notice mentors like is even if they are not entrepreneur, even if they are not founders, when they give advice, you are not to take everything like literally. But even if you ask questions, you implement the ones that you think will benefit your business, definitely they will be able to. It is not mandatory, but I will say that this opportunity lies solely on you, depending on how you build the relationship and you portray yourself as somebody that is trustworthy. So if you are building a business that you want to pivot, I think the same advice is still applicable. Everything that you need how you've listened in the past will help them to be committed to go this extra mile with you. So what we get out of things in most cases depend on us, not even the mentor. So we have a lot to do when we are picking, when we are choosing a mentor. And again, it should not just stop at them talking alone. What is our roadmap in implementing? And if we are not going to implement, it's good to say, oh, these are my concerns around this, not just brushing it aside without giving feedback. So those tools, maybe issues you've identified can actually be handled by a mentor. But it depends on you have a lot to do to get to that level with them as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Titi. We have another question. Is it advisable to sign an NDA with a mentor? Please, I think Joseph, can you answer this question? Hi, Joseph.
Yes.
Okay.
So NDA, it's not it's. I mean, I don't know how to answer that question, but um, NDA, your mentor, they've seen 101 million things. So uh, if you start giving an NDA to a mentor, first of all, that cuts a brick wall between you. They're limited in the information they want to share with you. Uh, Most mentor, they are founders yourself, like founders, like Danny is a founder and still mentoring. Danny is not going to get a mentee and get all their information and start spilling it all over the place. I think there's an unwritten code between mentor and mentee that, and whether your NDA or your NDA doesn't, I mean, if somebody wants to share your information, they will share it. Don't let me, don't tell them I told you. So, but the most important thing, yeah, the most important thing is trust your gut, look at your mentee. Just the number one thing on the list of mentee and mentor is trust. And once
Yeah.
that is established, you can freely share your information, because the more you freely share, the more you freely get from a mentor. I hope I answered that, Barbara.
Yes, thank you so much. I think you answered it perfectly. We'll take the question from David. I think that will be our last question because we are way over time. So David, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, VC for A. I've been someone following you guys for over 5 years now. Thank you for what you are doing. And mine is not really a question, but a feedback. Okay. And also, I've been an entrepreneur for years, and actually love the fact that your platform can help me get mentors. But I want to say most opportunities I've been seeing on your platforms, I've not really been able to access them because of the co-founder element, right? Most opportunities, they want to see you are not doing this thing all alone, that you are open to co-founders. So my suggestion, appeal, is if as part of what you are doing, if you could also look at how there's a product or something that helps connect entrepreneurs together to become co-founders. So that's my feedback. Thank you.
Thanks, David, for that. That's something to consider for sure. Thank you for that. I think that's all the questions we have. So we've actually gone over our allotted time, over our scheduled time, but I think it's been a very, very interesting conversation. A lot of very important points have been made around mentorship and its benefits, and what mentors are looking for, the kind of attitude to have, going into mentorship and all of that. And I want to thank the speakers. Thank you, Dr. Irene. Thank you, Titi. Thank you, Dami and Joseph, for joining us and for sharing your experiences, your knowledge, and for advising us, and just being champions for the platform. We really appreciate all that you're doing. We know that it's not easy to take out, your time to do these things. So we're really, really grateful. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we'll send out a poll right now in the chat box, and we want you to take a few seconds to fill it out, or a survey, and we're going to launch it now. You should see it. It should pop up on your screen right now. And we want you to take a few seconds to just fill it out and give us your feedback on the webinar. I think as you're filling it out, I think we can take one or two questions. There's a question from Mwangi. Are you active in East Africa, Kenya, to be particular? Yes, we are. We have mentors from across Africa and beyond on the mentorship marketplace. And we have a lot of mentors there, based in Kenya, and, looking for startups that are based in Kenya as well. So if you check the platform, you should be able to see. If you check the platform, you should be able to see mentors from different countries. They are very active across Africa. Okay, I think everyone's filling out. All right, so I'll just ask the speakers to give any parting words of encouragement really quickly before we close. And while people are filling out the poll, I'll start with Dr. Irene.
Thank you, Barbara. I was struggling to unmute myself there again.
Sorry.
So a parting message. Parting message is, for entrepreneurs, remember that you're taking yourself to a different level, and very few people are bold enough to be creating their own businesses, generally speaking. So you have to remember that it may not be easy, because if it's easy, everyone will be an entrepreneur. It's a difficult task, but remind yourself that you are up to the task and use every single resources that you can get your hands onto. And the best resource that you can have are humans, individuals that have done what you're trying to do, so that they can give you enormous advice. Money is there, but trust me, people have started businesses without money. I always say every one of us had money. I know people that have even their pocket money, they started business with it. So the money element of it is the last thing. You need to be focused on what you want, and then find the people that can help you through this journey. And you see the money part of it falling into place for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It has been a very wonderful afternoon. As an entrepreneur, I would like to say that you are not alone. And like Irene said, it's a difficult terrain, but you are not alone. Anybody you wish or desire to mentor you in this life, it is doable. And then be a person of value yourself. Where you are, start where you are. Be a person of value. Make sure you invested in yourself enough to convince other people to join you in this race, either as a mentor or as a funder. So it's important that you keep learning, and the VC4 platform is there for you to access a lot of resources. And you are not alone. Reach out to those people. Keep shooting your shots. You will going to receive a lot of rejection, but remember, you will definitely get a yes, and that yes worth the wait. So keep the good work. We are rooting for you. VC for Africa is rooting for you, and you are closer to your goal more than you think. Thank you.
Mercy. Right, Joseph.
Uh, well, um, the final parting word I would like to share with you is there is this saying that says if you want to go far fast, you can go alone.
Mhm.
If you want to go far, you go together. I believe in this journey, if it's not for mentors that kept on saying you can do it, keep
Mhm.
going. Just like Titi said, when things were dark, I mean, you wake up one day, you say you are so excited, I'm gonna make it, and the next day, 24 hours later, like, are we gonna have the able to keep the door open tomorrow? So it's mentorship that will help you because when you call them, they're able to say, you know what, do this, do that, and it's free. To be honest with you, Fees for Africa, they even give you the opportunity to say, I have enough, close it. So I would take this offer. Some of the mentors that I have there, I'm still talking to. I mean, I'm still talking to some of them, and hopefully one day I want to give back to be a mentor on VC for Africa, to be able to tell my story and be able to, whatever, anybody, if I can help one person like that help me save energy and time, I would love to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you. And finally, Dami.
Hi, everyone. So I'll just generally like to say that as people that are building and taking a risk on themselves, it's important to continue to better yourself through learning. Consistently have an open mind and seek out valuable relationships through mentors, through people that are also building within the space, outside your space, um, and consistently just have a posture of learning, regardless of the level of achievement or whatever it is. At the same time, be willing to give back. Um, as Titi had mentioned, you can't take all the time. Yeah? You must also be willing to give. You must also be willing to commit your time, which is like the biggest resource we all have, to being able to help others. Um, Generally, I'll just say, um, for me, being mentored and also being able to mentor has been a very humbling and elevating experience. And in the entire, in the both sides of the divide, it's a case of vulnerability
Yeah.
where they're vulnerable enough to want to seek out a mentor and be mentored, and also the vulnerability from the mentor side, which is being able to pour out into others and want to add value to the lives of other people. So yes, it's been a very interesting experience, and I will advise as many people as possible to jump on the BC4A platform, register either as a mentor or as a mentee, and just hope for the best from the experiences. Thank you, and thank you for having me in this session.
Thank you so much, Dami. Thank you. So I guess with that, we've come to the end of today's session. We do have one question from Damasco. Please unmute yourself. That's the last question we'll take so that we can wrap up the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying till the end. We still have a good number of you in the room, so I'm really happy about that. Thank you for taking time out. Damasco Farms, please go ahead with the question.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Madam Barbara. I'm very grateful, but I'm really sorry for being late for this particular project training. I'm very grateful for everything. And I'll be very grateful to the VC4A, the organizers, or let's say, the team. I'm very grateful for everything. I really enjoy so many benefits training and also networking from the platform. At first, we were struggling a lot. I joined very late, but I heard somebody say something. He said, "You will be rejected." Yes, I also passed through the same thing. Yet one yes can change everything. And so what that I can say to my colleagues, my mates, and other entrepreneurs, I know we are all being crazy. Let me put it in this way. Entrepreneurs are always crazy because they have very limited time. The same thing applies to those mentors. They are also like, they also have busy shadows. So the only thing is that we all try to communicate to them because we need them most. Somebody like we startups, we need them most. So we should devise a way to communicate to their understanding for them to also know human beings are more emotional. So if you are able to explain your problems to them, they are also human beings, and even they have busy shadows, they also attend to you. I'm very grateful for the platform, and also I'm very grateful to meet all of you, very experienced people. God richly bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel like that's the perfect way to end this session. He pretty much has shared his experience on using the platform as well. And I'm very, very excited about everyone that has shared their experience. And we really invite you, if you have not plugged in, to either take any of the free courses on the Startup Academy or try to connect to the mentor on the platform. Please, try again, keep trying until you get that yes that will turn things around for you. We wish you all the best. And like we mentioned earlier on, we'll share all the necessary resources and links after this session. I hope that we've been able to also fill out the poll that was sent earlier. And yes, please feel free to reach out to me. When we share the deck, you'll see my email address at the end of the presentation. So you can always email me if you're having any difficulty accessing any of the the platforms that we share. And let's keep this conversation going after now. So thank you all so much for joining in, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you to you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.